going on, everybody? Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Viall Files Reality Recap Edition, also from a hotel edition.
Reality Recap Hotel Edition.
Yeah, how do I sound, by the way?
Good.
Actually, pretty good.
Yeah.
Not bad? Okay.
Yeah, who needs
all right.
podcast
Well,
mics?
I am your host, Nick, not joined by my wonderful, sexy, gorgeous, talented, stunning, emotional support system for me. And our family, Daria Joins, because she is home with the family. Like many people in this country, we have been a part of the epic snowstorm that has really just affected millions and millions of people and thousands and thousands of people without power. We are one of those people, sadly, without power. So this morning, got in the car and drove to the nearest town that had occupancy in a hotel so I could get internet. So I could talk with y'all. The show must go on, as they say, and not even a winter blizzard will affect me from showing up and doing my job, which I'm sure many of you are very excited about. Anyways, I'm here. We have the household here. Sierra, Leah, Justin, Mary are all with us. We have a very exciting episode lined up for you today. And some exciting announcements. A lot going on, obviously, in the reality TV world, the pop culture world. Kicking things off, Daria Berenato. For all you WWE fans, she joins us. Sadly, recently, she just left the WWE world and is joining its competitor, and she's here to talk with us all about that. She also has a scary story. Had like a stalker, and it was like really dark and dangerous. She's also a huge Traitors fan, and she's going to be breaking down this last episode with us, including all the behind-the-scenes drama that's going on with the cast, the cyberbullying. It's a dark situation going on right now. Also, from the Traitors cast, we have Monét with us to get his perspective of what is going on in and out of the castle. By the way, guys, if you haven't heard, we are a part of the Netflix is a Joke Festival.
Woo!
If you've been saying, why don't you guys do a live show? Well, now's your chance to see us live. On May 6th at 9:45 p.m., Nally and I and members of the household will be joined by the cast of Temptation Island, the upcoming season, the season you haven't seen. I hear it's incredibly sexy, fun, scandalous, full of drama. Our showrunner for Age of Attraction is the same showrunner for Temptation Island. So we get the inside scoop into you. Nevertheless, if you want to see it live on May 6th, tickets are now available. So go to the link in our show description and buy some tickets. Come with your friends, come with the girls, come with yourself, come with your partner. Doesn't matter. You will have a great time and see us there. Also, Viall Files Plus is available. It's ad-free for all of you people who don't want to listen to us talk about ads, which I don't know why you wouldn't want to hear us inform you of some amazing things that change our lives for the better. But if that's one of you, Viall Files Plus is ad-free, in addition to all the great content we are putting out on Viall Files Plus, including your deep dives, which is us breaking down even deeper into the shows that you love watching and we love talking about. Also, your Pop Extra Roundup, all your juicy pop culture topics we didn't get to talk about this week, and our Update Plus special where we update you on some of your favorite Ask Nick callers. Anyways, did you guys have any bad weather out in LA? It's like, I don't know why we weren't in LA. I poorly planned.
I don't mean to laugh at you, but no, we didn't.
It was actually like a really nice, beautiful,
sunny,
It was.
in the mid-70s.
Oh my God, I had an improv show, and then afterwards, my friends and we sat outside, had some margaritas.
How did your improv show go, Mary?
It was
Did anyone
good.
from the
Susie-
household come and support and watch you?
Homie Susie Evans showed up. Everyone else fucking hates me and doesn't like to see me.
I would have been there,
and
Mary,
funny.
if I had better planned to be in LA that weekend.
No, you just don't
I
care
would have
about me.
come.
It's fine.
I'm shocked
Yeah.
that Sierra, Leah, and Justin did not come
Could
to
not
support
make
you.
it.
I was so close to going, but I have
So
this
close.
really
yes.
bad
Yeah.
sinus infection.
Leah did
You
specifically
thought
text
about
me
it really
it.
hard?
No, I texted Mary. I was planning on going, but I have had this sinus infection for over a week now, and I am
Blah, blah,
I literally would have
blah,
been just
blah,
snorting the whole
blah,
time.
blah. That's what you sound like to me right now.
You know when you're like stifling a cough or a sneeze or like something and you just start sweating and it's like the worst feeling ever?
Uh-huh.
I
Wait, you sweat from a sneeze?
no, when you're trying to stifle it in.
You know what would have helped with that?
So not
enjoying
sneezing makes you
live
break out in sweats?
improvised comedy
when
from
I'm
people
in a
with barely any
situation-
experience.
When I'm in a situation where I got a cough or a sneeze coming and I know it's inappropriate to let that out,
Mhm.
I start profusely sweating and I feel very anxious and it's
Yeah.
awful.
You're
that's how I
an
felt on
improver's
stage.
dream, Leia. They just be like, "What? Give me a word," and you'll like sneeze and sweat.
Mhm.
I would have been the butt of the joke. They all would have been like, "Who's this person who won't stop
You're
sneezing?"
a content-rich audience
Get
member.
out.
Mhm. I think you would have
I would have
brought
been
a
a
lot of
big
energy to the
disturbance.
audience. Well, it would have distracted from me, which is the idea.
Mary,
It went fine.
Mary, I think you did amazing. And I would have loved to
And
know
I
more
did
than a day
send.
before.
I did kind of procrastinate. Shocker.
And Leia and I were
Sending
the
out invites.
Leia and I were there every day encouraging you to go to the actual classes
That's
when you
true.
said you didn't want to go. So we're very proud of you.
Well, everyone, Natalie does say hi and wishes she could be with you all, but she is home with her mom and our daughter. We're one of the lucky ones. Thankfully we have natural gas stoves and a natural gas fireplace, so that's been cranking. So we have some heat to stay warm. A lot of people affected by the snowstorm do not have those things, and it's scary out there. So stay safe, stay warm. If you have been affected by the snowstorm, do you guys want to talk about Chrissy Teigen never pooping in front of John Legend?
I think
always
Leia
wanna
really
talk
wants to about poop.
She- Well, I also have a poll because
Why?
I have a poll. It's at the top of my mind at this moment in time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got into an argument with Danny this weekend because he put Louis, by the way, is starting to go to the bathroom on a big boy toilet.
What?
I know.
Huge.
The other day
Wait,
he looked at us, 18 months. The other day he looked at Danny and he said, "Poo poo, poo poo." And Danny was like, "You have a poo poo?" And he looked in his diaper and there was nothing there. And he was like, "Well, do you need to go poo poo?" And Louis said, "Poo poo, poo poo." And Danny took him to the toilet and put him down and he pooped in the toilet.
Oh my God.
Yes, and he did it again this morning.
Sweet genius
So
baby.
we bought him a little toilet. But
What? You have a boy genius.
he's potty training himself. I don't know what
Wow.
to say. I'm shocked. I wasn't
He
ready.
Is a genius. I love that kid.
That's
now.
impressive.
Boss
That's
baby.
impressive.
Boss
but-
baby.
Boss baby on the toilet.
He kind of looks like the boss baby.
He kind of does.
Anyway, so we got into an argument because we were in a public restroom and Danny put Louis bare butt on the toilet. And I just about had a panic attack. And I said, "Why are you putting my baby's pure, beautiful butt on a public toilet seat where everybody else puts their butt?" And then Danny said, "Well, I've never used a toilet seat cover." And I said, "Excuse me? What do you mean?"
Divorce.
I've never used a toilet seat cover.
I've
That
never
being
used
said,
a toilet
I will
seat cover.
We've talked
do
about
whatever
this.
I can to not use a public restroom in certain situations that would necessitate a toilet seat cover.
But if you had to, you would just go bare bottom?
Yeah, if you really had to go, the shits have hit.
Yeah, you have no
And
time
you
to make it to a
are
private
Well, then
toilet.
clearly I don't have time to lay down.
Yes, you
Yes,
do.
you always have
Yes, you
time.
I don't
do.
know.
It takes 2 seconds
Guys,
or squat.
I think that's a bit
Y'all are
unnecessary.
Hey, have you
Y'all are
ever put your
nasty.
hand, when you're at the
That's
airport?
even worse.
Do you know when you're at the airport and you know the tracks that kind of help you walk faster?
Yeah.
Do you ever put your hand on the rail while you're doing that?
I'm
Like an
usually
escalator?
walking.
Like, do I put my hand on an escalator?
My
Yeah.
hands exist
Yeah.
in my pockets at airports because I like to look suspicious.
But have you ever put your hand on like
Well,
a rail?
sometimes because if I'm weighing out my options
What
of
there's
falling,
literally most of the people's thighs are sitting on the toilet cover seat, while other people's hands are like transferring. Like I'm just saying, objectively speaking, it's
Yeah,
more
but you
gross to put your
shake.
hand.
you shake other people's hands when you meet them. You don't bump butts.
Hey, Leia, you know how you have had a sinus infection and I've been getting sick a lot? Maybe it's because you use a toilet seat cover and like you just haven't
your
built
body
up that
isn't
immunity.
fully like
you know?
stable. It's too
This is
hygienic.
Yeah.
crazy.
I think
that-
you need to
that
rub a little
I-
dirt in it.
No, Leia, I'm with you.
I'm with you,
I think
Leia.
the germs that you guys are exposing yourself with your hands is totally different than the germs on a toilet
The
seat.
fact that y'all aren't getting UTIs on a day-to-day basis is
No,
beyond
I've been
me.
fine.
How would that? Listen, I am no doctor, but I don't think that's how you get a UTI.
For the ladies in the room.
But you're
I don't
not.
think that's
well,
how it
and
is.
you
Sitting
Okay,
on
then
a
said-
toilet seat?
Fine, then worms.
You're not like
Yeah, like
worms.
Worms,
butt
yeah.
pimples.
Butt
I-
pimples
butt
for sure.
pimples.
Where
Worms.
exactly are you? We're getting into the weeds here, but like how, again, you're putting think about when you sit on a toilet seat,
Yes.
what exactly touches the toilet seat? Your outer thigh?
My butt.
No, your butt literally shouldn't be. Are you pooping on the seat itself?
I don't poop.
Just like Chrissy
Are you
Teigen.
peeing on the seat? But
Leia's never
it
actually
goes in the
thinking
hole. It goes in the hole.
But
It
what?
splashes.
Well, it may splash, Justin. I mean, that's between you and your digestive system. But I'm just simply saying the toilet seat cover ain't helping you with the splash.
I'm unwell.
I just feel like
I agree with you, Nick.
Oh, not the splash.
All right, let's move on.
The reason we're talking. So, poll, let us know in the comments. Do you use a toilet seat cover
Do you think
or
I'm
not? Let us settle this
disgusting?
debate. Should I divorce my husband?
Leia's here. I do get very irritated when you try to put the cover down and it like activates the like automatic flush, and then you have to redo it, and it's like, bruh.
Exactly.
And then, like,
Waste
you
of
have,
time,
like,
waste of
static
paper.
hands, and it like sticks to your hand, and you're just like, then you end up touching.
That's never
Now
happened to me.
you guys. You know what? How many times I've touched a toilet seat, a public toilet seat cover with my bare hands? 0, because I'm not dumb enough to be like, how do I put this thing on a toilet seat?
Okay.
What,
Anyway,
like it's hard?
Anyway, why did we even bring this up?
The reason I bring this up is because Chrissy Teigen and John Legend tell us how they keep their 12-year spark alive. And it's because she doesn't fart or poop in front of him. As she jokingly put it, for all he knows, I have never farted or pooped. You got to keep the sexy and preserve the sexy in a little bit of ways. I won't say that John necessarily does that all the time, but I make sure that I do. This sounds like a nightmare.
This sounds like a lot of work. Once you put a ring
lot
on
of
it,
work?
It sounds like a
Guys,
lot of bloating.
if this is a lot of work to you, then how are you going to get through a marriage?
I mean, I never said I was built that way.
Yeah.
Well, I get through my marriage by pooping in front of my husband.
In front?
Well, sure. Whether if he needs to like.
Have you guys
get
ever
in
seen
there.
those like his and hers little like tandem toilets?
What do you mean if he needs to go in there? Like what? There's no, how many bathrooms
Well,
do you
I
have,
don't
Leia?
poop, but if I did, I have 2 bathrooms. But now one of them has a baby toilet on it, which can easily come off, but I'm too lazy to do it.
Okay, but again, well, if Danny needs to use the restroom and you're in the restroom, doesn't he have to wait his turn anyways?
Well, no, I'm just saying. Like,
I'm just
if
wondering, what's a
I-
situation where he can't possibly wait, where he needs to walk in while you're sitting on the can?
Well, let's reverse this for a second. If he's on the toilet and I need to like grab something from the bathroom and I'm late to work, I'll run in there, grab my stuff, and leave.
Natalie never talks about it. She's very Chrissy Teigen coded. You just don't talk about it. When I use the restroom, if I have to pee, it's like I gotta go pee. And then otherwise it's like I need to use the restroom.
You guys don't.
And then
use the word
Natalie
poop.
will try to like out me. She's like, yeah. And
the
I'm
code
like,
words.
what are you talking about?
I've never done that.
We
in my
play
entire
dumb.
life.
We pretend it doesn't exist.
I think that's a good way to do it because it's like you're still
each their own.
able. Yeah, it's like you're still able to process what you need to process internally, biologically, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But you do get to be a little tongue in cheek about it and keep that spark alive.
But then River outed me. We were in an area where a fart was heard.
She's right there.
I won't say by whom. And River was like, Dada? And it wasn't me.
That's when you say river.
But River basically
River, you
was like,
shouldn't,
hey,
Jeff.
River was like, hey, when Dad and I wake up in the morning, he makes coffee and feeds me breakfast. Apparently he's, it's like River's the tree in the woods that you think no one's listening. And my daughter was, and then she told the world.
And then you just told even more of the world
I will
right
say
now.
though, kids and dogs are great scapegoats.
Yeah.
Mozart, come on.
Some would say you're evil, Leia.
Yeah. Do you guys know what else is going on?
What else is going
else?
on, Mary?
I'm sure you've heard that Blake Lively and Taylor Swift's texts have been released. I'm sure everyone here has thoughts on it.
All of these text messages are just wild.
You know,
But
sometimes.
by the way, if my texts with my best friend were revealed, I would have to like
I would go to
find
jail.
another planet to go as
Oh,
exist
yeah,
on.
literally.
I
like-
would
I
go
thought
to
these
jail.
texts were like quite like sweet and endearing.
I know. They're
You
lucky.
had Blake Lively, have we ever not felt like you got, a little disconnected for whatever reason from your friend? And I don't think we need to read all the texts that are out there, and many of you have read them, but it was like basically Blake reaching out to Taylor being like, hey, listen, I feel a little disconnect between us. I know I've had a lot going on, referencing the Justin Baldoni drama of it all, and acknowledging that she's kind of probably like been a little focused on her personal drama, which like, how many of us wish we had friends who would recognize when they were kind of like going through it? And, it's like, because often when we have like drama in our life that's really like weighing us down, we often like feel justified to like kind of like center our own emotions and feelings and forget about the people around us, which is like very human and common to do. But like then she goes and recognizes it, brings it up. And then Taylor, like her response was very like, yeah, you've kind of been like that, but I empathize because I've been there before. At no point are they like scheming as all the Justin Baldoni trolls and stands. Like it was like somehow they've turned this narrative into like, basically trying to pit Taylor and Blake against each other and all this drama. And you have this kind of very sweet exchange between two friends, one of them going through it, the other person like, recognizing that and just like having like an honest conversation. It was like kind of endearing in a way that I don't think most people appreciate.
The one thing I really want to say about this is that if it is wrong to text your girl and call a man a bitch, arrest me.
Literally.
Because I'm doing much worse than that.
I mean, listen, again, like the Justin Bononi stands and trolls are like cherry picking stuff. It's like, well, Taylor called Justin a bitch. Like, okay, like maybe he was being a jerk. It was like, oh, allegedly Ryan Reynolds made fun of mocked Justin Baldoni's movie. It's like, what would you do if someone your wife was working with was making her feel uncomfortable and creepy and then launched a online PR smear campaign, which Justin has pointed out several times, like isn't even like debated at this point. Like the company Tag, the company that Scooter Braun, I think it is either owns or associated with, allegedly. I'm not, don't quote me on that, Scoot. But
Scoot.
as like that same PR company has now been linked to other smear campaigns around the globe. It was just like, again, I keep saying this because I think it's so scary that like people can do this and people can create inorganic smear campaigns against regular people or against their competitors. And the fact that like, we've seen the Traitors PR obviously released that statement. We'll get into it shortly. But I think it's just like the world of online bullying and the way these smear campaigns get created and the way it's all very inorganic. And it's just so easy how narratives can be changed online. And when you actually have companies that specialize in doing this, it should scare all of us. But anyways, it was kind of cool to see those two friends like hash out a disconnect in a way that I think all of us can relate to.
I will say we did discuss this in depth on Plus, so please listen if you're not. But I will say these texts do confirm that it was kind of premeditated for Taylor to be in the room for that one meeting that they referenced. That being said, like I think that doesn't negate the whole conversation of retaliation and the fact that Blake was in a position that she needed.
But I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't. Yeah. Why is that even like something that's like, oh, Ryan Reynolds made fun of Justin Baldoni. It's just like, okay, yeah. So a friend was there to support her friend at a time where she was like from a guy who like often made her feel uncomfortable.
My big thing with this case is just like, why is it? I think we should be pro when some guy is being really fucking weird and gross to every single woman he's around, making fun of him.
Yeah. Also, Melissa Nathan saying that Perez Hilton is in her circle of BF trust.
Yikes.
I feel like that says a lot within itself, but we can leave that there.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, again, it's the world of these like crisis PRs. It's a dirty, dirty world. And like a lot of like the public figures who have been pro Justin, they're all associated with his lawyer. Oh. Every single one of them. And it's those same people who are out there like alleging that like it's that everything they're accusing Blake of is literally what they're doing for Justin. It's kind of crazy. Our next guest is Daria Berenato, and she has a very fascinating story. For all you WWE fans out there, you certainly know the name. She has recently left the WWE and is now with TNA, continuing her wrestling career. And I think there's a lot of speculation as to why she left WWE. She also has a absolutely insane story that, trigger warning, has a little bit of darkness to it. It does involve a stalker, but she's very open about what happened with that experience and was gracious enough to share her very insane story with us and kind of the fallout and give a little insight of what it's like to be on that end of that situation. She's also a huge fan of this season of The Traitors, so we get into episode 6 with her and talk about some of our favorite things from the past episode. Also, we have a very exciting Going Deeper this Wednesday. Seth Rollins and his wife, Becky Lynch, another professional wrestler, join us to talk about the world of professional wrestling. It's like the OG reality TV, a world where they have like heroes and villains. It's a very fascinating world, and many of you I know are WWE fans, and this is a couple that met on the job, and now they're some of the biggest wrestlers in the WWE space. And they are with us for a really exciting and a very new Going Deeper this Wednesday. But we are sticking in the wrestling world, and Daria's up next. Parenting can be full of daily battles, especially around food, and that's why we are so grateful that we have Thrive Market in our life. Nally and I are very conscious about what we eat more and more, and certainly more conscious about what our daughter River eats. And Thrive Market makes it so much easier to have healthy, great tasting snacks for both us and our daughter. No trade-offs with it when it comes to Thrive Market. Kids want mac and cheese, sugary snacks, juice boxes, and it always seems like they're going to eat what they're going to eat. Well, Thrive Market gives you versions with less sugar, fewer sketchy ingredients, and more nutrition, so you can say yes and say goodbye to what it feels like being mean parents constantly saying no. Guys, you know that running a home is already hard enough, and it's like you can waste so much time at a grocery store label shopping. Well, the good news is when it comes to Thrive Market, they just make it easy. Thrive Market does the vetting for you with 1,000 plus restricted ingredients, vetted brands, and trusted staples. Thrive app makes it easier for you to shop for your family's needs without endless label reading using their 90 plus filters, high protein, low sugar, gluten-free, plant-based, etc. Whatever you're looking for, Thrive Market makes it easy to shop for your family. Also, clean ingredients with less stress. Thrive Market is free from 600 sketchy ingredients, making it a trustworthy space for parents. No guessing, no Googling, no aisle squinting. We've been loving all the great snacks, especially the lesser evil popcorn. That's something obviously more for me and Natalie, but we do love it, and it is healthier for us. So join Thrive Market with our link, thrivemarket.com/VIALL for 30% off your first order, plus a free $60 gift. Daria, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Super excited to have you. Lots to get into, both with your journey in the professional wrestling space, and obviously I know you're watching Traitors, so I'm really curious about what you have to say about the world of the Traitors, both like on the show and like a lot of the discourse that is happening outside the show with like the cyberbullying and the comments that Traitors USA has made and things like that. I'm very fascinated with the world of WWE. I kind of refer it to as like the original reality TV. When I was a kid growing up watching it in the days of like Macho Man Randy Savage and Jake the Snake Roberts and people like that, it was like we kind of knew it was fake, but they wouldn't really talk about it, in a sense. It was like, it was real.
Yeah.
And I feel like reality TV, when it originated, it was like, it was real, but like no one wanted to talk about some of the inauthenticity of reality TV and how it worked. And it's kind of fascinating now that in the wrestling, people talk about like the word like heel, right? Like you're a villain in that space, and like fans know about it. Have you been, or were you a heel, or have you gone back and forth in your space?
So many things to say. First of all, I'm so hooked on Traitors right now. It's disturbing. I'm currently watching 3 of the seasons simultaneously, which, it wasn't the greatest idea. I started the newest season, and then I caught up, and I was upset that I couldn't watch anymore since last Thursday. And then I started season 3, and then my manager wanted to watch with me, so I started season 2 with him. And so now I'm like scattered all over the board. But to answer your other question, I was a heel and am a heel my entire career.
Oh, your entire career?
My entire career, all 10 and a half years of it. And I have never been a babyface, and I don't care to be. It's so much more fun to be hated than it is to attempt to be liked.
Oh.
Like, that sounds horrifying to me. It's like stand-up comedy. Like, let me get up there and try to make you like me and laugh. That sounds horrifying. So
I'm curious, how do fans in that space engage with you? Because, like, for example, in my world, right? Like, I went out, a long time. I was I went on The Bachelor. I was the villain. I didn't try to be. Didn't want to be. And you go into this space, like, kind of just hoping people don't hate your fucking guts.
Oh, right.
And then people are like, I hate your fucking guts. And like, they're just like tearing you to shreds. And it really obviously can affect your mental health. I mean, over the years, I've gotten much better at like, like I disconnect. I just check out. I go to my family. I do my thing. But like, it's hard. But like, I guess as a heel, as a villain in wrestling, are fans engaging with you as the bad person and you just have gotten good, like myself, at disconnecting from that reality? Or are fans like, do they root for you and like you as a bad guy, or is it a little bit of both?
So it's very 50-50 in the wrestling world. You have the fans who truly believe you're a piece of shit and they're going to hate you. And, I've gotten death threats. I've gotten,
oh my God.
Hate mail. And then there's the other 50% that appreciate the good acting and, enjoy booing you out of the building. And so it's very 50-50. And like I said, I've never been a good guy. And I had this really weird moment. I just re-debuted in the wrestling company TNA 2 weeks ago now. And I did this thing where I came out pretending to be a good guy for the first time ever. And I didn't know if the fans were going to buy it. And they bought it and they were cheering for me. And then like 30 seconds into me cutting a promo, I turned on them again. And it was the weirdest 30 seconds of my life because I was like, oh my God, this is what it feels like to be like. So like, it's so unrelatable for me. And then when I turned on them and they were all booing me, I was like, yeah, this is what I like. But it is very different from what you experienced because that was like them hating your natural like you. Whereas me,
or like the you that the TV, the me
right.
that the networks decided to show their version of, so to speak.
And I've dealt with that. I did Total Divas and Tough Enough. I did reality TV, and I dealt with that too, where it's like, oh, they really are disliking this version of me that has been put out there, and that can be different. But yeah, with wrestling, no, I embrace the hate.
Well, for all the WWE fans who are sad to see you leave that world, I know there's been a lot of like discourse and speculation on why you left WWE to join TNA. And I was just curious, like, do you have any like theories, feelings, or is it just more like a business decision and it is what it is?
Well, so I was with WWE for like 9.5 years and my contract was coming to an end. And we were in negotiations to re-sign. I was under the impression that we were re-signing. And I was told that. And then at the 9th hour, I got a call and they were like, hey, we decided we're not going to do that anymore. And so I was as surprised as anybody else was. But that being said, I'm very like, everything happens for a reason. And I know it sounds like cliche or whatever, but I really do believe that. And so I was like, okay, it wasn't meant to be. I have so many dreams, so many things I want to do. And being with TNA, we just got a TV deal. We're on AMC every Thursday night now for TNA Impact. And I can also do so many other things. I have the freedom time-wise and also contractually that I can still act and do my podcast and do all the other things I enjoy doing. So it's kind of like best of both worlds right now. It's a good spot for me.
Well, that's, a lot of more flexibility and freedom. And what's different about the TNA world and the WWE world, other than a lot more freedom for you to like pursue other endeavors?
Yeah, I mean, TNA's been around since like 2002. So it's one of like the longest standing wrestling companies there is. So like there's people that have been there for decades, and they just got this big TV deal. So it's kind of like a really hungry environment. Everyone's like, we effing did this. And I'm kind of coming in as the new guy now. I mean, obviously having my tenure somewhere else, but it's exciting. It's a lot of people from WWE that are there that I knew from our time together before. And then it's a lot of new people that I've never met before. So it's interesting, but it's like everyone's trying to like make it. It's like a fire in the locker room. You
have this very crazy, dark story of this stalker. Are you comfortable talking about that?
Yeah, that's fine. He's in jail.
Well, you had this crazy situation. I mean, like, it's one thing, to have like an online stalker and that can make you feel really uncomfortable, but like, you had literally someone, am I reading this? Like break into your house?
Yeah.
like, can you shed some light on that and how that all went to be? And like, I guess, like, what was there any lesson you learned from that experience?
Get a dog and get a gun.
Yeah, I guess,
I mean,
right?
No, I'm kidding, but not really. But yeah, I was in my house in Tampa. My best friend Mandy, who was also part of the WWE roster at the time, was sleeping over. Thank God I wasn't alone. And yeah, it's really creepy. We were hanging out on the couch watching Bates Motel for hours.
Whoa.
Which, if that doesn't set the scene,
vibe?
oh
Yeah.
my God, I know.
Gosh.
I look back at that and I'm like, I'll never watch that show again. But anyway, so we're just like hanging out, having a good night, like almost like an eerily good night, and we were falling asleep on the couch. It was like midnight maybe. And I was going to just let us sleep on my couch. And then I was like, you know what? No, let's go to bed. So I was like, Mandy, get up. Come on, go in the guest bedroom. And I went in my bedroom. And it's so funny because I always sleep with the TV on. But that night, I was like so tired. And I was like, oh, I don't need the TV on. But I did grab my phone and go to my ADT app and set my alarm, which I'd been lazy some nights and not done that.
Sure. Yeah.
So I set my alarm. Then I threw my phone in my bed and it's pitch black and I go to sleep. And then 2 hours later, the alarm's going off. And, you know, it's like that blaring alarm.
Yeah.
So I immediately pop out of bed and I'm like, what the hell? And it's dark and I can't find my phone. And so I run to the ADT panel on the wall and it says living room door open. And I'm like, oh, Mandy must have gone outside to talk
or
to her.
maybe I didn't fully close it completely.
Right.
Or something.
Like,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
the wind or like something. But there's sliding glass doors and whatever. So the first thing I do is run to Mandy's room to make sure it's her that's outside. And I'm like, Mandy. And she's like, what? And she's half asleep in bed. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, stay here. Someone's in the house. And so I just then had that instinct. So I run to the kitchen. I turn on all the lights and there's blinds drawn across the two doors that it could be. They're both sliding glass doors. They're perpendicular to each other and they both have curtains drawn on them. So I can't see which one is open. So I don't know why this was my instinct, but I go to the doors to lock them or make sure they're locked because surely anyone that's there will now have ran because the alarm system's going off is what I'm thinking. And so I peel back the curtain to the door that I always use and I'm like making sure the lock is pushed up and I look up and a man is right there on the other side of the sliding glass door.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, holy shit. So I just start like yelling towards him thinking like, obviously it's a robbery. He hears the alarm going off. He now sees the homeowner. Like, surely he's going to run. And he walks one step toward me. And there's the glass door in between us. And I'm like, holy shit, this is not a robbery. So I run. I had indoor cameras. So if you go on YouTube, you can find this video. There's a video. When I run, the other door was the one he had open. So he just crosses through the curtains and comes in after me. But that 1 second of blind spot that he had to cross through the curtain, he thought I ran up the staircase, but I had ran right behind the staircase to grab Mandy and run out the garage. So 5 seconds later, when the cops get there, he's standing at the bottom of the staircase with a knife in one hand and pepper spray in the other hand, looking up. They fucking tackle him. We're outside of my car. You know, I like peeled out of the driveway in my car, went around the block, came back. Cops are guns drawn in my garage. They're like, is this your house? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, stay the fuck back. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm still not like understanding what's happening. So long story short, 2 seconds later, we're sitting in my car watching my house with the headlights pointed on my front yard. And they come out with a man like wiggling in handcuffs. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? The cops go right into the police car and I guess start just like giving him basic questions, trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah.
And they come back to us 10 minutes later and they're like, what do you guys do for a living? Oh, we wrestle WWE. And they're like, and the guy's like, oh, I don't really know what that is. And I'm like, oh, The Rock, John Cena. Like, and he's like, oh, okay. He's like, well, he's saying you guys are friends, but he keeps bringing up wrestling. And I'm like, what is this guy's name? First thing I'm like, what is this guy's name? Let me look him up in my Instagram. Long story short, he had been messaging me for like 4 years. And then essentially it led to his last message we found was, I'm finally here. I'm on your back patio.
Oh my God.
I'm going to see you soon and I'm going to kill that bitch inside with you. So And if you go back to read the messages chronologically, as I, of course, had to do for the cops and everything later, you see that he had been telling me in my messages for years, I'm coming. He drove down from South Carolina. He worked at Applebee's. He saved up money for gas to get from South Carolina to Florida. He parked in a church a mile from my house, army crawled behind the wetlands through my gated, because it was a gated community, but the wetlands weren't gated.
Sure.
So he army crawled through the wetlands.
Oh my God.
Cut a hole in my screened-in lanai. I mean, like, it was very premeditated, very planned out.
And what do you know what happened with this guy?
Oh yeah, of course. We were about to go to trial 2 years ago now, and then he took like the highest plea my team gave him, which we just threw it out there as like a, man, if he takes this will be great, but if not, let's go to trial. He's guilty as all hell. It'll be easy. But he took a 15-year deal, so he's in jail for 15 years.
Jeez.
That's literally
well,
like
I'm
my
so
worst
sorry that
nightmare.
happened to you, first of all. But like,
No, it's okay.
how does my wife, who obviously couldn't be here today, but like just the idea there, like people talk about intruder syndrome, and I've had friends, obviously who live in LA who've had their house broken into, thankfully when they're not there, just like a robbery.
Right.
And just that feeling of like someone kind of knowing where you live and being willing to do that obviously can truly, affect your psyche and mental health. How did you work through that trauma that obviously must have been very debilitating and scary?
Yeah, I don't know that I'm very good at like that. I don't know that I really like sat and worked through it, but organically the process for me was, yeah, like initially I was paranoid as hell for like the first year after. I would like sleep. I went and got my right to carry in Florida, and I would sleep like gun in hand every single night. I wouldn't go to sleep till the sun came up. And I lived like that for a long time. And then I got really exhausted and was like, okay, I can't sustain this. And so then I got my Rottweiler. And I got a roommate, which was kind of like really important to me at that point. Like I was like, I don't think I can live alone for a minute. Just being in a house alone just was the thing that kind of freaked me out. And so, yeah. And then, I just woke up one day and I just was kind of over it. And I was like, you know what? I'm really friggin' lucky. So many women and people in general get stalked for years. And it's very hard to prosecute a stalker until they kind of cross that threshold that gets into the legalities. And so I consider myself lucky that this dude was dumb enough to go for it and thankfully failed. And now he's in jail. So I look at myself as like one of the best case scenarios. Whereas people deal with stalkers, like putting shit in their mailbox, showing up on their property for years and can't prosecute them because they didn't
make a threat to their lives.
Right.
Or,
And
yeah.
like, and I think the laws around that need to change as well because it's a bunch of bullshit.
Fully agree.
Yeah.
That's
No,
a crazy
of
story.
course. It's wild. It's
But yeah,
wild.
to your point, I think it's, it's something you hear about, but not know much about. And that last part is fascinating because, I think it does happen where people experience similar behaviors against them and don't feel safe knowing that the person who did that to them is still out there.
Yeah, I mean, the laws are wacky. It's like you can't get a restraining order against someone unless you're in a relationship with them. At least that's how it works in the state of New Jersey. And so what? And then you have to get this VASPA order, but then when you give the VASPA order, it'll come from your hometown court. So then if they don't know exactly where you live, like now they will. And so, yeah, there's just a lot of stuff. I've been speaking with officials and law enforcement for a while now, trying to work on some of this, but that's to come in the future, hopefully.
Like, how are you able to compartmentalize? Because your job, right, where you're saying that you're used to people kind of associating you with being a villain,
Right.
and then you have an experience like that where it's like, but you're also a public figure where your job is to be very out there. Like, how do you compartmentalize your mental health and your safety plus how you interact with fans?
Yeah, I don't know that I'm the best example of this. I really I look at that as a one-off experience. I look at that as like, that's the bad apple. And I don't just lump all fans. Like, I love my fans, and I'm still the schmuck that, like, at the airport, if 10 of them would come up to me, like, I'm signing all of their autographs. And a lot of people frown upon that, or some people don't do it, or they hate it. And I do understand, like, yeah, when I'm like eyes crusted shut at 6 a.m. at the airport, do I want to stop and take pictures? No, but I still will. And so I really don't have any kind of like jaded animosity towards fans. You know, it's one bad apple. And, you know, I won't lie. I've had situations since that were creepy and stalkerish. And yeah, I hate those motherfuckers, but I'm not going to like out my entire fan base because of a few bad ones.
Right.
You know, there's great fans that have supported me since day one. And so, yeah, I just think people in general can be shitty.
Right.
You know?
Can't hold one accountable.
Well, speaking of shitty people, unfortunately, the cast of Traitors is under some crazy fire, and there's some online bullying and cyberbullying going on.
I just need to point out my favorite part of Traitors this season, because we talked about the cast a little bit. Lisa fucking Rinna is my favorite person in the entire world. Well, she's iconic. We know that. But like, I love that she knows she's iconic.
Yeah.
And
Lisa fucking Rinna.
Lisa fucking Rinna, Harry Hamlin, like she's so
former sexiest man alive, People magazine.
I know. Yeah, no, she's amazing. She makes the show for me. I love Rob. What's his name?
Rob
Roush. Snake guy, Rob Roush. He's handsome. He's charming. He's playing it so well. Like, I think he's great.
Did you see Lisa's commentary on Rob where she was like, his charm doesn't work on me because I'm married to Harry Hamlin?
I mean, it's so good. She's so good and she's so right. Like, I love it. Yeah. And like, what's his, Rappaport?
Yep. Michael?
Listen, you know this. In reality shows, you need the polarizing characters, even if they annoy the crap out of you or if they're obnoxious. Like, you need them. And I think sprinkling them in there is great for the show. And, you know, of course, he wasn't going to make it very far. I think he made a lot of enemies really quick. One of the funniest things is the shoveling the food off the plate.
It's crazy.
It gets me like doubled over. Like, I can't handle it. It's so great. It's one of my favorite things ever. What was another funny bit? Oh, when Rob corrects him for not knowing the right definition of commiserate.
And then Michael's like, no, it's not. And it's like, bro.
Yeah.
Rob said it with such conviction that the second time Michael was like, all right, maybe I should back off. He probably does know what it means more than I do. But like moments like that, like that's reality TV gold.
Yes.
So like, you know, you need the baby faces and you need the heels. And so, you know, I think all in good fun. This season is amazing for me.
When Underwood went up to Rinna and was like, you know, he's out there just throwing accusations at every single person without like much behind it. So I don't think he gets much props for actually guessing Rinna right, because it's like it's like eventually you're going to get to someone who's a traitor if you just go down the list and like kill them all. Like, you know, what's the saying? A broken clock is right twice a day.
Yes.
And like, you know, he's playing the broken clock strategy. And which is why, like, it's, you know, like, I think most people, when they go, if they imagine the opportunity to go on Traitors, would like to, like, what's the goal, right? If you're a faithful, you hope to figure out who the traitors are, right? And then you shouldn't tell anyone, right? Like, you should try to make alliances with these people, but not tell them. And Rinna was right for not believing him, because like he was already lying, because he had already told how many other people that he thought Rinna was a traitor. And then he goes up to Rinna and approaches her like, hey, listen, I figured it out. Don't tell anyone, but like, let's make alliances.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think he's trying to be slick and like do something never been done before and be innovative and all this stuff. And you know,
but if he actually knew she was a traitor and really believed it and actually had like real evidence and a real conviction, then I don't think he would have gone up to anyone else and told them Rinna was a traitor. I think he would have just make alliances with Rinna rather than playing both sides to the camera.
there is the vantage point of, you know, when you publicly say you think someone's a traitor, you're kind of safe that next murder because they're afraid to murder you because it's too obvious. Right? That's a whole like strategy. I don't know. I'm just learning. But I don't know, but I think I'd fucking kill it as a faithful. I wouldn't want to be a traitor.
Yeah.
I'd want to be a faithful. And like, you know, you see people go on every season and their whole claim to fame of why they're going to win is, I'm such a good judge of character, but then like you see them be like the worst judge of character. And you see them like Tom Sandoval, like in his season, he was like so adamant about so many people and he's like kind of always wrong until the end.
They were like, all right, sweetie, just sit down a second.
Sit down. I mean, that was some of the funniest. Oh my God, that was some of the funniest TV as well. But no, like I'm actually a wild good judge of character and I feel like I'd fuck up the traitors. I feel like I'd just be able to pick them out.
You recognize a heel.
I'd want to be a faithful.
You'd want to be a faithful, right? Being a traitor, there's too much lying.
I feel like I'm just a really, I think I'm a bad liar. I think, I think, well, whether I'm a faithful or a traitor, I think if like I'm getting accused, I think I would just look guilty. I just don't think I'm right. It's like, what do you say? It's how do I deny that I'm not something? How do I deny something I can't prove?
100%. And when I get nervous, I like will laugh.
Yeah.
And so if someone's like really pressing me and I'll be a faithful, they're like, you're a traitor. I'll be like, I just start awkwardly laughing. And then I would look guilty as hell and I would get banished.
Well, even with the whole thing that happened with Ron, that was kind of crazy where it was like, he was like, I'm a faithful. And then he was like, I'm not going to waste my time defending myself. I'm going to go down and tell each of you like what I loved about being on this experience with you.
I love that he did that.
And
I thought that was so charming.
I love
And the fact
Ron.
that they still were like, they were like, he has to be a faithful. No traitor would do this. And then they still vote him out and he's a faithful. And I'm like, you guys.
Here's what I don't get. It's like, how did Ron get kicked off? Because I get it. He had like a bad rap, I don't know, leading up to, that turret.
Right.
Not the turret, the round table.
The round table, yeah.
And the episode started with Johnny Weir kind of like building a coalition against Colton.
Mm-hmm.
I think they got too scared to get Colton.
I agree.
By whose standards? You know what I want to see on Traitors one day?
What?
And I feel like they could have done it with Michael, which they kind of did it with Michael, but for like more, it was less strategic and more, they did it because they just like hated him. It was personal.
It was personal for sure.
It was less strategic. But with Colton, I want someone to be like, yo, to be honest, I don't think you're a faithful, but what I think you are is a huge distraction to the faithful, and you don't work with the faithfuls. And I think if I were a traitor, I would want to keep you around by how you're going around accusing a bunch of people. So I think us faithfuls should vote your ass out because like you're you only think about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So
I want to see that. I want to see them not like, because I think sometimes they get wrapped up because like, I don't think Colton's playing like a traitor. Traitors aren't usually that aggressive. You know what I'm saying? They're a lot more. And I think he's just kind of bullying and dominating the house with his big personality. And
I think it's going to happen.
A distraction.
So I think you're right. And I think they're on to that. And I think it's going to happen. But there's something about this game when there's low hanging fruit, you kind of got to just pick it because it's a numbers game. Right. And it's like, there can't be.
But I'm just confused. How was Colton able to get that many votes for Lisa? And then where was Johnny and his coalition? Did anyone vote for Colton?
No,
they fell apart. I mean, that's why when they make the promises earlier in the day, I'm like, yeah, we'll see what happens when you get to the round table. Because I think the round table is like the strong persevere. We see it time and time again. Whoever has the strongest personality, because a lot of people sitting at that table, they don't want to be the outlier. They don't want to be the dick that says, I think it's this random person we never spoke about, because then they get shit on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of what this game comes down to, and another reason I think I'd be great at it, is because everyone is so scared to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing or look like the asshole, except for the couple that like want to look like the asshole. But like most people don't want to stand out at the round table. They kind of want to be like, what does everyone else think? And so I think there's something to when they get to the round table, whoever speaks first kind of rules the vote.
Well, and you watch what happens too, is because the entire round table backfires. Heaven forbid you are the one leading the crusade and you're wrong. Like Ron, you will hold on to that forever unless you are a likable, personable person that people kind of like give you a pass.
Uh-huh. And you know what's weird about this game to me too, that I was watching at first, like now I get it, but it gets like borderline, like really personal, and like they can get really mean. And I'm sitting here watching going, it's a game, just have fun. You know, and I get it, that makes good TV, but like I do think sometimes it gets a little too like catty.
Well, it's interesting for like someone like Ron versus Rob, right? Because they're both like quiet, kind of keep to themselves personalities, but there's something about Ron that rubs everybody the wrong way, that he's suspicious, but he's just saying, when I have a conviction, I say what I say, or else I kind of stay back. But because he was so adamant at that first round table, they never let that go.
I know.
But then Rob doesn't really make any strong convictions. He's friendly with everybody, and no one's like, he doesn't blame anybody. Everybody likes him. Wouldn't he be a good traitor?
I know.
I think the only person who kind of thought that was Ron when he told him while they're playing chess, I kind of think you would be a great traitor.
I know.
And Rob's like, I want to save you.
By the way, Rob saying the cringe in my body when Rob goes, has anyone said my name yet? Does anyone think And I was like, no, you've been playing such a strong game up until this point. And that is like the one comment. And I know he like trusted Ron, so he thought he could just say it to Ron. But watching as a viewer from home, I'm like, why would you say that?
And even when Rob voted for Lisa, my jaw dropped.
Yeah.
Like I was literally like staring at the TV like I didn't expect
honestly,
it.
it was a smart move.
It was.
And, I think,
that was.
I mean,
He kinda
Rob
had
made
to.
I think Rob's playing a perfect game, and I think it was a smart move, and his explanation made a lot of sense. The big question is, will Candace and Renna get it, right? Will they be able to, because listen, and this happens every round table, right? Sometimes like a Ron situation, it's like, okay, they catch some strays, they get some heat, and there's like a build up to like, all right, he's finally going home. Right. And also, let's be real. Like, this is like, reality TV is always very high school. There's a lot of like, social dynamics at play. And I think Ron wasn't, more introverted. He wasn't the popular person in the house. He made lesser meaningful relationships like with Rob. And maybe I think he was friends with
Donna Kelsey.
Donna.
Yeah.
But like, it's like, hey, I made 2 quality friends from this experience. That's a win for me. I'm going to go home with 2 more friends, as opposed to like working on and trying to be the most popular person in the house. And I think, again, like Rob's popular for whatever reason, and Ron is this like has kept to himself and is a little like sassy and snarky. And like, it was just easier to vote Ron home. But I guess my point of saying all this is that like, it does happen a lot where someone's name gets brought up and then like somehow they get like the accusation shifts, right? Like, it's like, remember 2 weeks ago when we thought like Eric was the traitor and like we've all kind of dropped that. So I think Rob he's thinking, all right, I'm just going to say Renna, and then he can like, if they're strategic about it, and it'll be interesting to see how he goes about it and if he's able to pull it off, to like, be like, Colton made some accusations for Renna, but like, I'm not so sure anymore, and like, to his point, maybe he can change how much he trusts or not trust Colton and things like that. But like, I thought Rob was really smart to say like, this is, this is not the last week of this game.
Yeah.
So let's think a few moves ahead. It'll be really interesting to see if they could pull it off. I do feel like, do you guys, anyone else think that like Renna's kind of cracking a little bit with the heat being on her, or do you think that's clever editing?
No. So I think she has a bold personality, and I think if she was a faithful, she should react that way too. So like, I don't know that she's like giving herself up, but fuck, I would hate to be a traitor where the heat's on me. Because like,
oh my God, right?
How
you're like, no.
You're like, no. Like, how do you deny it sincerely? And like, what does the denial of an actual faithful look like compared to a traitor? It's like so much thinking kind of hurts my brain.
A lot of spinning, because like that's what I would think. Like if I were in Renna's situation, how can I spin this Colton situation to where I don't look like a traitor?
Right.
But I would be like, he tried to, you've seen him blame me as a traitor, right? That he sat me aside and tried to be in cahoots with me.
100%.
And then I'd try to be like, even if he's not a traitor, he's clearly somebody who would work with the traitors and you can't be trusted. So like, let's vote him out.
Great.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to turn the tables on Colton.
100%.
But it's like, I just don't know if she's in that position where she can see outside of herself. Cause like, I would be nervous. And she has to do the killing in plain sight. She agreed to that before all of this went down.
Who do you think they kill?
I hope it's Colton.
It's not going to be.
That's the thing. It's like, I hope that, like, I wish that she could get Colton out either during a roundtable or during this killing in plain sight, because that's the only way that it doesn't pinpoint her as the traitor.
Mm-hmm.
But aren't they going to then think it's her because he's been saying her name?
No, I think they made the mistake about giving Renna the jewel, that the weapon, so to speak.
But it happened beforehand.
It should have been Candace who takes the jewel, and then to Sierra's point, they should like put Renna in a different room.
Yeah.
And then when Candace kills Colton, the heat won't be on Renna. Renna been like, I literally wasn't there.
It happened out of sequential order. Like, they decided on her getting the jewel
the night
before
before.
all the heat was on her. like to that extent.
Yeah.
So it like in hindsight, yeah, she shouldn't have. But she was like, I would wear the brooch because I wear extravagant outfits, which like valid. But now
I was like, so does Candace.
Yeah, so does Candace. That's very fair. But now in hindsight,
Candace could have pulled that shit off. No problem.
know.
I did love the moment though when they were presented with that, and it was like, well, Rob, you can't do it, and we're like, no fucking shit.
Obviously.
All right, so if you're the Traitors and you can't kill Colton, who do you think makes the most sense?
Oh fuck.
I feel like unfortunately it's going to be somebody like Johnny or somebody who like would be drawn to like touching the brooch on their own versus like Renna being like, oh, have you seen this? I got it. Harry Hamlin gave it to me. Let me put it on you.
What if Dorinda touches the brooch though?
I mean, that's kind of where Lisa's going to have to bring it up casually.
Yeah.
To someone. Dorinda's not a bit, but isn't Dorinda onto Lisa a little? Or does she think Lisa?
Who's telling her that? Colton's telling her.
So it's basically either she's kind of going along with it to keep alliances with Colton, or she kind of believes
it. Really believes it. I mean, I think Dorinda would be an okay one. Maybe is it Tara?
Tara Lipinski, yeah.
Tara Lipinski. Like one of the girls. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, it's going to have to be somebody that like would engage in a conversation about that.
You know, Colton's made some bold fashion choices this season.
And
maybe
that's why
he comes up and touches the brooch.
He would.
He would. And he's like
honestly,
kind of annoying to Lisa in that way where he would be like, hey, diva, look at that beautiful brooch you have on.
Honestly,
she probably wouldn't have to be that obvious.
I think I think you're right. The most organic move would be Colton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let him walk into it himself.
Yeah.
Exactly. Fly too close to the sun.
He doesn't think a magical jewel can kill him, I don't think. They've done that on previous seasons.
No.
They always kind of switch it up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're going to find out on Thursday. I'm addicted.
It's great.
I can't get over it.
It's great.
It's so awesome.
Well, Daria, we appreciate you taking the time and talking with some Traitors with us, as well as sharing your story. Good luck on TNA. Where can people follow you, watch all the great stuff that you're doing, and support you in your career?
Yeah, I'm on TNA on AMC every single Thursday. You guys can check me out there being a real bitch. And then all over social media at the Daria Berenato. Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for chatting with us.
Super fun.
Thank you. It's the best. Come back soon.
Yeah.
Well, here is a gross fact. Traditional bed sheets can hold more bacteria than a toilet seat. Yuck. Not exactly what you want to lay your face on, but that's where Miracle Made bedding is designed to fight bacteria and stay cleaner longer. With silver-infused fabrics that actually prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth. Natalie has really got me on this kick of being conscious about what we put our skin on when we sleep. And that's why she discovered Miracle Brand, because we can't have any more bacteria on our skin or in our face when we sleep. Sleep at the perfect temperature. Miracle Brand sheets are crafted with NASA-inspired silver-infused fabric. It helps regulate your body temperature, which we love. I hate sleeping hot, always like to sleep cold, and the Miracle Made bedding is perfect for that. Thanks to their antibacterial silver technology, Miracle Made sheets stay cleaner and fresher up to 3 times longer. I wish I had these sheets when I was just a single guy who never washed my sheets. But either way, no matter how much you forget to do the laundry, Miracle Brand sheets will help you stay cleaner longer. Whether you're just more mindful of what you're putting your skin on or just want to make sure that you don't have yucky bacteria in your bed, be sure to check out Miracle Made bedding. Upgrade your sleep or give the gift of better rest. Go to trymiracle.com/VIALL to try Miracle Made sheets today. You'll save over 40%, and when you use promo code VIALL, you'll get an extra 20% off plus a free 3-piece towel set, which makes an amazing gift. And with a 30-day money-back guarantee, there is absolutely no risk. You won't use that guarantee. I promise you, you're going to love this bedding and love the way your skin feels. So one more time, that's trymiracle.com/VIALL with code VIALL at checkout. Thanks to Miracle Made for sponsoring this episode. I gotta say, man, that wrestling world is something I'm very, very fascinated with. And if you're fascinated too, do not forget we do have Seth Rollins and his wife Becky Lynch on Wednesdays Going Deeper. It's just honestly really fascinating what these guys do for a living, and I'm really fascinated how they actually like lean into like accepting the villain role and things like that. I wish like almost reality TV could do that in a way. Danielle Reyes actually made a comment.
Yeah.
And listen, like, props to her. And I've talked about this too. Like, I feel fortunate that when I first went on reality TV, I was in my early 30s and I had, a little lived experience and things like that. And working in corporate America kind of honestly can be very cutthroat and prepares you. And just like being a little older and being the villain first really prepared me for this world. Because for a lot of people who go into this world, who maybe get a little love and attention right away, and then they go back and people turn on them, as often is the case in these, it's very difficult for these people to handle that flip, and their mental health can spiral. And it's just like, it can get really dark fast. But anyway, I thought it was interesting what Danielle had to say, because like after Peacock released the statement, which was essentially like, please stop bullying our cast, they're human beings.
Yeah.
We do have Danielle's statement if you would like to hear it.
What'd she say?
So Danielle posted on Instagram after Traitors made their official comment, and she said, "Let me share some inside information. The producers and the wellness team were very supportive of me during the airing of season 3. They reached out several times to check in and make sure I was okay. I let them know there was no need to worry. This was not my first rodeo, circa 2002 Big Brother. For a little more inside info, when I sat down with Alan and gave my mafia pitch to become a traitor, I told him they're either going to love to hate me or hate to love me. I understood the assignment as a traitor. To be clear, I did not plan my moves in advance. Everything I did in the game was organic. I knew I needed thick skin to play this game, and I also knew that murdering or turning on a fan favorite would not be taken kindly by viewers. I fully understood there was a possibility I would be hated. The point of this post is that it was not necessary for me. If the producers felt my mental health was ever in jeopardy, I am confident they would have addressed it directly and extended the same message themselves." So basically, she's like, nice that they issued that statement. I didn't need that shit, though. I'm built different. Which respect.
I mean, she, props to her. She is built different. Mm-hmm. And I think, again, she's done this before, and she's a gamer and clearly has thick skin, which some of us do, but not everyone does. Well, we're excited to talk to Monét coming up shortly. But what else do we have going on in the reality TV drama world?
It's been a very crazy weekend, but in like the best way possible for anybody watching reality TV. Obviously, we have Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season 4 announced March 12th.
Finally.
Coming.
Let's
Then we also,
go.
we've seen all of the fallout that's already, it's confusing obviously to see whether this is fallout for like season 4 or if this is fallout that they're filming for season 5 or 6 or whatever season
That's
we're
always
on.
the confusion with this show.
Yeah, we just finished season 3.
But I love it. Like, I personally enjoy the confusion of like, I don't know when I'm going to get it, but I kind of know what's happening.
We do know that like season 4 is going to have the Demi
Yes.
and lawsuits and Marciano.
So
Pretty Pebbles Gate?
whatever they're filming right now.
Season 5, probably.
No, wouldn't that be maybe end of season 4?
I thought Demi wasn't in season 4.
Well, so and then also Marciano was spotted at whatever event they were filming recently that also Latia
But that's
from The
season
Bachelor is also at. Well, that's what I'm
5.
saying. So like,
Is Demi for sure not in season 4?
No,
Because there was
I
speculation.
don't know for sure. I thought she was done. It's my understanding from people who are in very much the know that the Marciano and Demi story actually will be carried over and resolved in Vanderpump Villa.
But he's not even on that show anymore.
He got fired.
I don't know, but apparently if you are interested, when I have lost interest in that storyline, that more will be revealed
Because
in
they found the
Vanderpump Villa.
tape. They have the
Whatever.
tapes.
Don't worry. I will do the Lord's work.
Yeah,
and I will be watching.
too, honestly, because I want to see this storyline through.
Listen, I've been told by people I trust and people who I think know what they're doing that that show gets better. So maybe
Vanderpump
we will be talking about Vanderpump Villa.
Listen, I need to close. I need to see this story through, and that's just my.
I thought
own-
Demi quit after this next season that's coming out because they've already been filming
Again, hard
it.
to say, hard to
Right.
confirm.
It's crazy that the Mormon Wives basically somehow did invent time travel with the way that this show is filmed. I do
Wild.
always feel like I'm looking back into the past and into the future at the
All
same
at the
time
same
when
time.
I'm working.
She isn't
when I'm
in
watching.
the walking montage that they do. So she isn't in the one for the trailer they released. So
Okay.
I mean,
Technically, she also wasn't in the last season either, but then she still was.
I don't know, you guys.
regardless, it's crazy.
But apparently Latia from
Yeah.
Bachelor is
Yeah.
Is she confirmed filming?
Is she Demi replacement?
She has been spotted filming with her and Chase's ex, Kate.
Well, and then also does Chase have a new girl, or it's Dakota's new girl that's also part of filming?
Dakota's new girl is part of filming too?
Emma, yeah, because then also
we'll find out in 2 years.
Taylor.
I will be very interested to see how Latia does if she joins this cast, because, and I don't know, I've never met Latia. I don't know much about her, but she struck me as your kind of typical Bachelorette cast member, which was, unproblematic, very demure, very generally safe, and very brand and conscious about her public persona. And from what I know of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, as they are, to use that phrase, built different, they are reality TV professionals and hyper good at being incredibly raw, real, and authentic in a way that, like, I don't know, maybe Latia's got it. I don't, clearly, like, I think the Jeff Jenkins and Russell J., the producers of this show and creators, they know what they're doing, and they certainly know how to cast. So maybe Latia is, maybe there's a different side to her that we got to see her on The Bachelor. But
the second I saw her say, "Come on now," I was like, "Oh, I need that. I need her." I was like, I liked whatever that was.
We did see a little glimpse in the finale.
Yeah, but that's when she thought she had the high road with Grant, and she thought she was in a position. I don't know. It's just like, what happens when you're really in the weeds and caught up in drama between Chase and Taylor, Frankie, Paul, and maybe Whitney chimes, and I don't know. We'll see. It's
I mean, she's going from network to streaming. And that does seem to maybe give you a little bit more space to play around if you're not worried about, like, the ABC brand at large.
Right, that is true, because you also have to talk about the platform or the company that's editing this show.
Maybe, yeah. I mean,
Latia could have been popping off all the time in that mansion. They just got it out.
Maybe.
That is
very true.
And then
we don't know.
Got Miranda's friend, Shayna, that was supposedly slept with Dakota over Stagecoach.
I'm telling you, they're bringing in, like, this is.
It wasn't over Stagecoach,
everybody.
But yeah.
Like, everybody in that, like, Infinity War circle of Mormon Wives Utah is appearing in the show now, and it's, like, getting hard to track, but also is very entertaining.
Honestly, I'm here for it, because, like, the OGs, Taylor's the Bachelorette. I mean, her star keeps blowing up and rising. Whitney's, getting more and more opportunities. The rest of this cast, they're becoming legit celebrities, and maybe, again, maybe, like, because they're recording so fast, maybe they, clearly maybe are running out of some of those original storylines. They're just leaning into that universe. I got to tell you what, though, March
is packed.
March is going to be jammed packed, guys. And we have Taylor as the Bachelorette.
Yep.
We got Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, all happening at the same time, which is that's going to break my brain.
Yeah.
Time travel. They do this on purpose. Literally.
Time travel.
Well, I mean, they do get to dictate when they release their shows. So, yeah, they are doing it on purpose.
Well,
I'm pretty positive they're releasing Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, right? Like, right
intentionally the week
2
before.
weeks or a week before Bachelor episode. If we get all of the episodes, and it's like,
is that what they're doing? So it's like right before, so almost like that. So yeah, that's
we're
what
gonna wrap up Taylor's story, and then that way we can watch.
Like, it'll almost be like a Beverly Hills Vanderpump
handoff,
right? Handoff.
I'm so excited.
That's what they'll do. That's what they'll do.
I can feel the excitement coursing through my veins.
Yeah, and then it's my birthday.
And mine. And my birthday.
We also have another season of Love is Blind. We have some Temptation Island sandwiched in there. At some point, Age of Attraction will be coming out in 2026. Can't say when exactly yet.
Summer House.
Ladies of London.
Summer House, February 3rd.
Everything. Okay, more reality TV headlines before we move on. Carl Radke and Vanita.
Is it heating
running
up?
around London together?
I think it's cute.
I think they're doing a brand deal.
They're hot together.
I think because at BravoCon they were catching a vibe.
Carlos asked about her, and he said that he finds her beautiful and so entertaining to talk to. And Vanita said she was interested.
I think this is a great pairing.
I do too.
Well, Meredith Marks met Charlie XX at Sundance, another headline.
And she said on Twitter,
fans of each other.
She said on Twitter, "I wish that we could have been bumping that Meredith Marks caviar."
I mean, if I met Charlie XCX, or honestly, any like celebrity I'm a fan of. I do like Charlie's music. Did you see that reaction that Charlie had? It was like a
yes,
Yeah.
for Meredith. Like that's for all the controversy that Meredith has been wrapped up in this season. That
To know
must
you
have
have
felt-
Charlie on your side.
Well, and Charlie said, "I'm so glad you're DJing now."
Yes.
And honestly, Feather, like that's a flex.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ramona Singer thinking she invented the phrase "sorry, not sorry" in 2026.
That clip was amazing.
Awesome. No notes.
Last thing that I think we definitely need to talk about. So Ultimate Road Trip is still filming. The amount of like OGs that are popping up
Oh
for this
my
is
God.
insane. Like Faye was on Beverly Hills.
Yes, the morally corrupt Faye.
Kim Zolciak,
Resnick.
Nene Leakes, Marlo Hampton, Sheree, like everybody.
Everyone's there.
Did they start off in Beverly Hills, go to Newport, and then now they're in
So I believe they're currently in Miami.
okay.
Like,
They
I
went
us-
to Atlanta as well?
I usually don't let
Yeah.
myself spoil housewife things, but I'm like really tapped into this. So they started in Newport and then they ended up in Beverly Hills and now we know they're in Miami. So I don't know if they've gone anywhere in between, but like even Mary Cosby, I know she's active, was at one of the
I saw there was like Mary
events.
Cosby was there, but Nene was there. Like some Atlanta
Luann
housewives.
flies in on a zip line apparently at the white party, like with angel wings. I'm like, there's just a lot going on and a lot of
That is
different people.
iconic, though.
Eileen is back.
Eileen is back. Eileen Davidson is back.
It's iconic that they did a
Very
20
thrilled.
anniversary.
Sorry, I love Eileen Davidson. I grew up on Young and the Restless.
Vicky Gunvalson is in a black wig.
But then they did the
Like-
20th anniversary of Housewives with Kyle having her white party in the backyard.
Like they knew what they were doing and they're doing it properly by
Yeah.
bringing like all these people back to like commemorate like what Housewives is.
Ugh, it's beautiful.
Perfection.
I'm so excited.
And didn't you say they had like a disco themed party, like the epic fight that happened in Orange County at the Mexican restaurant? Over,
Oh, I
like,
don't know. I didn't see
bungo?
that one.
Oh my God. Did you see Cynthia Bailey
I
bringing
did.
back 50 Cent?
I did.
Oh my god,
my
that
God.
too.
She's
Iconic.
just, yeah, fucking
Hot.
epic. I cannot wait for this series to release.
When's it come out? Do we know?
We don't know, but usually, I mean, they're actively filming it, so I would assume it's probably later this year, if not mid.
I'm excited.
All right, Monet is up next, and we are excited to see what Monet thinks about this season of Traitors. Obviously, Monet was in the castle not too long ago and had an unceremonious early exit, but Monet is here to let us know about this season. Monet, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
We're super excited to have you. First of all, we just want to say, what the fuck? Why were you kicked out so early? Between you, we had Bob the Drag King last year. You this
Who?
year.
Ever heard of her, Bob?
But yeah, I mean, like you got the early exit, which we were very sad to see. So we are excited to have you on the show and talk a little Traitors.
Yeah, I think the problem was that I trusted. Can I curse on here?
Yeah.
No,
Yes,
probably
fuck
not.
shit balls.
Oh,
Yeah.
I trusted a fucking housewife, and I will never do so again. When Alan deems it necessary for me to rejoin his castle to play this game again, it's gonna happen. I hired some Etsy witches to cast a spell to first bring me back. I will never trust a housewife. I will hunt them all down. And I don't care who it is. I don't care if Mary, Jesus' mother, is a housewife in the castle. She's going down. All except Phaedra. Phaedra seems like she was a loyal housewife. The only loyal one we've ever seen.
Okay. All right. Do you feel like that the housewives are putting a target on their back this season?
Yeah, I think so. I think every season they're like, because they like, it's like they have no loyalty even to each other. Like how they killed Caroline. And Lisa Rinna with those damn lips looked at Caroline in her face and said, Caroline's, I guess I'll see your brother. No, you won't. Cold-blooded. Like, it is cold-blooded, but also such great TV. And, like, I think my problem was, like, I just really trusted Candace. Like, they had 5 people that I was like, I know these people are faithfuls. It was Colton, Natalie, Rob Cesarino, Portia, and Candace. I was like, I know. I was like, you cannot tell me people are not faithfuls. I just thought they were. And I was right about all of them except for Candace. So I confided in her, and she used that same knowledge to get me out of the game. Which, by the court of public opinion, I was playing a pretty good game. I was flying under the radar, but still a presence and still talking. But I made the fatal mistake of trusting the wrong bitch. But enough about my ex-wife.
Other than trusting the wrong person, is there anything you would have done differently in the time that you were there that if you did get a chance to come back to the castle, you would maybe approach it differently?
I think one thing I would do is maybe say someone's name to more than one person. Like, because I think that was a good point Lisa brought up in the trailer. She's like, in the turret, she has Candace. Did anyone else hear it? Candace like, I don't think so. Because then You can't lick things back to people. So yeah, I think maybe saying it to more than one person. Other than that, I was really happy with the game I was playing, the fashions I was serving, and when they were eulogizing me, how my lovely faithfuls and traitors were all talking about how fabulous my fashion were. And Lisa Rinna had the gall, the gumption, the audacity to say one of the best dressed. I can't wait to see that bitch at the reunion so we can see who's really the best dressed.
When Candace got caught in the lie,
Michael Rappaport put the coffin in a housewive's grave.
Yes.
Yes. I watched that back and I was kicking myself. I was like, Maura, because Portia, Candace did say that in the car. Maura heard it. And then when they're at the table and Portia's asking her, Maura was like, no, girl, I don't know what she's talking about. And then, so we all thought, oh, that was weird. But if Maura would have been forthcoming and instead of covering for Candace for, I don't know what reason, they weren't even that close. If she had not covered for Candace, I think that would have been a big red flag for Candace. And honestly, maybe we would have gone for Candace that night because it would have been such a big lie. Like, why lie about that? It would have been really strange. So, and that could have changed the entire trajectory of the game. But that's the thing about Traitors. You can't say what if and I wish I did, because honestly, if that had happened, then it would have been a whole maybe other mess of problems. So it's a game. It's a game that you can't really say I wish I would have, or if this had happened, this would have happened, because you really don't know.
Yeah.
Do you think Maura really was just like, I don't know, I don't remember shit, or do you think that was a strategic play on her part to just be like, you know what, I see no evil, hear no evil, don't, like I ain't repeating shit.
You're being so sweet attributing any strategy gameplay to Maura Higgins. Maura did not know what the fuck that was going on the entire time. Maura had not seen, this is a fact, Maura had not watched a single episode of this show when she got to the game. Maura did not know what was going on. Maura was like, oh, we have to banish people. I was like, Maura, that is a premise of the game, girl. She had no idea what was going on. So I don't think there was any strategy. Maura was just being Maura. Maura wanted to wear pretty clothes, which she did. Yep. And that was her only goal.
I'm curious, as far as we were talking about this earlier, like obviously Colton's playing a very aggressive game in the castle, and he seems to just be like making accusations. I almost kind of wish like the faithfuls would come together and be like, because honestly, I don't feel like Colton's playing like a Traitors game. He's playing kind of an aggressive, disruptive faithful. But I think he's almost like the rest of the faithfuls. Like if I'm a faithful, I'm like, yo, I don't think you're a traitor, but what you are is a great distraction for the traitors. And if I'm a traitor, I'm keeping you around. And so like, I want to see him getting voted. If I'm a faithful, I would want to see Colton get voted off because I think he's a distraction to actually hunting down the real traitors.
I think that, in my humble opinion, I think that Colton is playing a good game. Yes, he's playing aggressively, but I think that Colton is playing a good game. I think that his strategy to go up to Lisa Rinna and be like, I know you're a traitor. I think that was bold. I think it was a good choice. I think that what Colton could have done differently was at the round table, use that information against Rinna in a different way, or Lisa use that information against Colton to try to get him out. But I think aggressive gameplay in the castle can be tricky, but I think Colton's doing a good job. I really do.
Okay. Are there any people that we haven't seen get a ton of airtime that you feel are sleeping under the radar and might surprise us going forward?
Ooh, I think Natalie. I think in her seasons of Survivor, Natalie's one of my favorite Survivor players because she plays. She's just so good at the game. She's fucking strong as hell. She does like CrossFit like at 5 o'clock in the morning every day. Girl, better than me. And she is like a dope. So she's great at the missions, but she's also like a faithful. Like I think everyone in the castle knows she's a faithful, but the traitors aren't getting rid of her. And which is good, right? It's good that the faithfuls know you are faithful, and the traitors are scared to get rid of you because you're flying just under the radar enough. But she's still vocal. She's still bringing things up at the round table. She's still contributing. Mm-hmm. So I think Natalie's playing a really good game. Okay. And I can't wait to see what she does for the rest of the season.
I think Mary's got some questions for you.
I do have some Drag Race related questions. First question, who of the Traitors cast do you think would be the best and worst guest judges on Drag Race?
Best? Because honestly, and I love this bitch so much, and I think she was the only one giving me competition for the drags. I think Portia Williams. I think Portia Williams would be an amazing guest judge on Drag Race. But she knows a drag, honey. And I think worst would be, I would say Lisa Rinna. No, I'm kidding. I think Lisa actually would be a good guest judge on Drag Race. She's so silly and she's so funny. I would say, maybe Stephen Coletti. I think Stephen Coletti will walk onto the set of Drag Race and he would be like, what the fuck is going on? Although Stephen was very complimentary of my drag. I was like, Stephen, you didn't know me, Stephen? I'm like, Stephen, ain't you engaged? Watch out now.
Awesome. And then I know you've answered before which drag queens you think should go on Traitors, but I am curious, which drag queen do you think would be the worst faithful and the worst traitor?
A drag queen who will be the worst faithful. Oh my God. A drag queen who will be the worst faithful will be Mistress Isabel Brooks. She's a bully. She would bully the entire cast. They would probably eliminate her. Also, Mistress just kind of looks evil. Like she doesn't look like a pleasant person.
Yeah, no.
Mistress just kind of has like a mean grill. So I think she'll be an awful faithful. And you said worst traitor?
Yeah. Who couldn't handle it?
Oh, worst traitor would be Peppermint.
Yeah.
Even though she was a pretty bad faithful, I think she'd be even worse traitor. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Because Peppermint is truly like a good-natured, lovely
kind-hearted.
person.
Yeah.
And her having to be in that turret. One time we played Secret Hitler, if you guys know that board game, and she could not bring it to herself to play the game. I was like, Peppermint, it is a game. I promise no one here is really a fascist. They all live in Plainview, Texas. None of us are fascists. It's okay. And she's like, girl, no, I can't. And she's like opted out of the game because she's like, I just can't do this. I was like, okay, girl, okay.
Too sweet, too kind of heart to be a traitor.
Too kind of a heart.
Yeah, too kind of heart. She's such a good person.
Monét, any final thoughts on this season of The Traitors before we let you go?
Final thoughts. This is for any future traitor players. Hunt the Housewives. They are the most deleterious. Of course. Oh, they're trying to get my Wi-Fi connection. You saw that?
Yeah.
Hunt the Housewives. They're the most deleterious people in the world. They should never last long at this game because they will cut you, slit your throat, stab you in the back, and get you eliminated.
All right. Well, Monét, we really appreciate you taking the time. Where can people follow you, support you, and everything that you're doing?
Yeah, you can follow me on all social media, Monét X Change, MONET, letter X, the word change, and come see me on my stand-up comedy tour, High Heels, Bad Knees, all this spring and all summer.
Hell yeah. All right, Monét, we appreciate you. Best of luck going forward, and maybe we'll see you back in the castle.
Who knows? Thank y'all so much. Who knows?
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I love her.
All right, Beverly Hills. Do we have a rapid recap?
We do have a rapid recap. All right, so if you missed the most recent episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, here is your rapid recap. Rachel Zoe's shopping strategy: money isn't real. Bose getting her eggs retrieved. She also does not buy Amanda's money-making skills. Dorit writing a book, honey. Kyle tells Sutton about Jennifer Tilly's comments about her and Garcelle. She doesn't react very well to that. And OMG, Rachel Zoe is throwing a party with a psychic. Kyle hopes this one doesn't have an electronic cigarette and say Mauricio isn't going to emotionally fulfill her, but we'll see. So off the back, Amanda brings up that Dorit is using a ghostwriter for her book, which is crazy to Amanda because she just sat down and wrote hers all by herself. Sutton then confronted Jennifer Tilly about the comments about Garcelle, and they both really just agreed that they should be better friends for each other, and it was really wholesome. And then Amanda and Dorit have a very tense conversation, and Amanda leaves the party.
I enjoy Beverly Hills. I know people say they're not buying into it, but I feel like this whole season I've enjoyed it.
I enjoy Rachel Zoe.
I don't get why fans are not embracing Amanda.
I think the women aren't necessarily embracing Amanda.
She's a one-upper. She's a one-upper.
I don't know. Maybe. But, like, nothing she says is wrong. She's self-made. She's incredibly independently successful. The tragedy in which she talked about was heartbreaking. She's clearly resilient. Mm-hmm. And like I said, a lot of people have a hard time sometimes like moving forward. And I don't know how she did it, but she clearly did in a way that she's ultra successful, got herself on one of the most iconic Housewives franchises. Like what's not to like? I mean,
she does have the tendency to one up, even if it's not necessarily coming from a negative or vindictive place. I think she just does that to feel relatable to other people. And I think that rubs a lot of the women the wrong way, because there's this new girl and she's coming in here kind of pretty bold, pretty brash for a new housewife, which I think is great. As she needs to. But I think their reaction to that is pretty unified, which is hard for her because she can't make an actual friend now. Because everyone has this sort of preconceived notion of like where they used to be at, I think, in a housewife's journey is how I read it a little bit, which might not be correct.
I think I'm empathetic to Amanda's story, and I think it's hard coming into a cast of already established friendships and women who know each other and being the new person. But I also think that there's a way to like come in and like listen to what people are going through, and without, I don't know, trying to act as if you are better than people or you have all of the answers. And I think that's something that's rubbing the women the wrong way, whether it's a coffee order or, you know, a book. And I wrote mine myself. It's like there's just certain comments that she makes where it just feels like you didn't need to say that, but yet you don't hear why that would rub someone the wrong way.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't take it as her trying to one up. It obviously comes across that way.
I think she's trying to be relatable to the other women.
I don't even think it's that. You know what I think it is? I think, I think for her to be able to accomplish what she's accomplished, she seems like a very type A person. I think a lot of things like just make sense to her, right? In her mind, it's like, why would you do something any other way? Because this works. And I think when she sees people say or do something that in her mind just like makes no sense, like she will speak up and she will speak on it. And I think sometimes that comes across is like, you know, obviously the drama that Dorit tried to bring up, right? Until like Amanda, you know, shut it down. You know, she was like giving feedback that Dorit didn't really want, right? She was giving criticism and critique about like Dorit's divorce. And honestly, probably objective feedback, you know, but like Dorit just wasn't having it. But I don't think Amanda did it to like be a know-it-all. I think she was like, she heard something. It was like, that doesn't make sense to me. And then she like was honest about what made sense to her. You know, like I just think things in her mind, and that she's clearly very smart and she does make good decisions. Like, I don't think Amanda would hire her husband to be her manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the one moment that Amanda really lost me was the Avi thing from a couple weeks ago.
That's her just being messy.
She's being messy.
That was a producer being like, hey, something about this.
Bring up Sutton and Avi. Yeah, but I think it's just like, I think that comment specifically is what put her in this position with the girls, because I think beforehand they were kind of like, I don't know about this new girl. She's kind of annoying to us, whatever. And then she said the thing about Avi, and they were like, oh, well, we're obviously not going there. So what the fuck? Why are you trying to bring that up on camera? And I think that kind of put a negative taste in their mouth towards her as a collective unit, which I think sucks for her because it kind of puts her in a bad position to kind of regain genuine relationships with the group, because now they're closed off to it, whether or not that's justified or not.
I don't think these women were ever interested in being close with Amanda, and they all kind of approached it as like, who's this new girl? And like, maybe Amanda didn't do herself any favors, but like most people can't be Bose, who is this like very polished and very put together and very secure in herself. And this like Bose has the like almost like the, you know, this former Netflix executive where people know the name of like, you know, of Netflix. And you're like, oh, you're kind of impressed by the title that Bose has had in the past. Where Amanda being self-made, it's almost like being like, yeah, I have a podcast. And it's like, oh, cool. You know, and that can mean a million different things. You know, Amanda's come in and is like, hey, I own my own business. Like, you know, half of the Bachelor contestants show up and be like, I'm a financial advisor or I'm in real estate. And it's like, because they got the real estate license, where like they have this kind of very vague title that most people, it's kind of bullshit. But Amanda's one of those people who's actually done something with it and made this incredible business. And I think like maybe that's where that kind of one up comes from, where like, again, Bose doesn't need to do that. She's like, I'm a former Netflix executive. What's up? And most people are like, how, oh my God, like, how do you do that? Right. So I think that she has that confidence where like maybe Amanda has a little bit of insecurity there, but like, I'm more impressed with what she's done rather than picking apart the fact that she's proud of what she's done.
I think of everyone that has beef with Amanda, Bose's beef with Amanda is my favorite because her whole thing is just like, where's the actual money? I thought you were going to have actual fiscal advice for me, but your advice is just vibes, which I think is really funny.
I mean, yeah, because Bose can speak on that because Bose like is also incredibly successful in the space of business where like, you know, like Sutton or Kyle or Dorit, like, what are they going to say?
I was going to say, I kind of think too, where I'm like, I think the women are also just not impressed with it because I'm like, every season that one of these women who have all been, besides Kyle, like introduced at a different point in these friendship groups have all had to prove themselves. It's like you had Erica coming in married to a lawyer but is a pop star, and Bethany Frankel shitting on her from like the first episode. It's like Dorit came in with the bathing suit lines and PK's career and whatnot, and people were like, your accent is fake, and Pantygate with Erica. So I'm just like, I feel like this isn't anything that's not normal for like a woman coming in and joining this group, but like at the same time I just feel like building actual relationships versus trying to flex on like what you've accomplished and what you've done goes a lot further, like as a viewer, but also with the cast, that it being like, well, I'm successful, well, I'll take a 30-minute business call. Like it's just like, we get it, you work, but what else is interesting about you?
What was that woman's name from like early season, Dayna?
Denny Wilkes, yeah.
Yeah, with the sunglasses.
$75,000 sunglasses.
$75,000 sunglasses.
I think she's trying to fit in. I think you guys nailed it.
Yeah.
Maybe it is a little bit of them icing her out, but also she's not helping herself with some of the things she's saying.
But people hated Dorit when she came in. Yeah. She was up against Lisa Rinna, Erica, so many people.
I mean, did Amanda come in as a friend of anybody, or was she just kind of like, Amanda?
I feel like kind of just like Amanda here. She bought Kyle's house.
But like that doesn't mean she was friends with Kyle, right? So I think it's like...
So like loosely Kyle's.
She kind of... I think that's also where she was kind of...
how Brittany came in?
No, Brittany was a friend of Heather, though. So that's what I'm saying. Amanda kind of just got placed there like, hey... And that's kind of who she is on the show, where she's kind of just like, hey.
Right, and to your point, like with Jennifer Tilly, for example, or it's like, obviously, if you know Jennifer Tilly, you know Jennifer Tilly, but like nobody's seen her dynamics like with a friend. So it's like you get to see this like, oh, actress Jennifer Tilly, but what she's like with Sutton. And there's something like endearing about it. Or like when we have the Housewives crossovers where it's like Sutton going to lunch with Heather Dubrow and whomever else, that it's like, oh, like how these people interact with each other outside, or like, and a camera just happens to be on them, where it's like right now we're giving like, it's unnatural because like who do we get to see real conversations with? And like you criticizing Dorit's marriage, not knowing Dorit for a minute, like and keep your comments to yourself.
You being friends with someone in the group demands respect for you as well. So I think she didn't have that set up.
Yeah. So that might have been the mess up of the introduction of Amanda.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for her.
We'll see.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Should we get to a little Valley Persian Style?
Yeah,
we
should.
The show.
I love it. I started Shaw's of Sunset last night from season 1. I think Gigi, MJ, and Reza, that's a trio made in the stars.
As MJ said, let's go.
Exactly. All right, so if you missed the most recent episode of the Valley Persian Style, here's what happened. So we pick back up after the reveal that Dennis fucked Golness's friend, but they're family, and they work together, so it's fine. Reza doesn't think Sky needs another house, and she should just stay in the fucking valley. Tommy is not coming with MJ to Palm Springs because he doesn't want to see Reza. Sky is still pretending to be mad at Golnessa for smoking weed at her house, but Gigi apologizes anyways. Sky also says that the house in Palm Springs smells immediately after she walks in. Also, there's a medium there, and it's very sweet. And they all learned, like, you don't think it was sweet?
No, I'm just thinking the constant themes of having, like, mediums. And psychics at these parties.
I know.
I'm down.
Salt Lake City did it.
Salt Lake City.
We should have a party with a medium.
He will never emotionally fulfill you. Anyway, so later, Dennis crashes Adam's birthday dinner, and everyone is like, what, Dennis, what are you doing here? Even the entire episode, everyone wanted Gigi and RJ to fuck. And now Reza and MJ hate Dennis and are there to just read him to filth, which Golnessa loves, but she also does still want to have a relationship with Dennis. Anyway, that was the episode.
The fight or the conversation, the dinner, the birthday party, whatever you want to call it, was reality TV gold to me.
Perfect.
Oh.
Like it was just one thing after another. And like MJ, when she got, let's go. And I was like, oh my God, they're about to like go down.
Gigi was
good.
giving me like emotional whiplash.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, wait, did you invite him here? He just drove 2 hours to get here. And now you're like, tell them your side and then I'll tell them mine. But you go first because I don't want you to use what I said.
It's a yes or no.
Oh.
I was like, oh.
Thumbs up. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God.
And then immediately later, she's like, it's so nice having Dennis
She's so
here.
iconic when she walks out every 2 seconds and she's like, I need to smoke.
I need to punch something. I need to feel pain.
Literally.
I like to think about it as a Reza interview and how much he hates Sky.
Yeah.
And when he shows up at Sky's house and he's like, girl, how you doing? And it's like, I'm like, he is a good actor. Because if I didn't know any better, it would sound, he sounds like he really enjoys her company. But he hates her.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he really does not want her to move to Bel Air. And she really, for some reason, wants to move to her. That's a nice house. Why does she want to leave so bad?
She wants to be in Bel Air. She does not want to be in the Valley.
But Girly Pop, you signed a contract to be on the Valley, Persian Style.
There's like the Valley part of Bel Air, no? Like the top of it?
The top of Bel Air.
I guess you could, some people
The air
might
in Bel Air
consider
is
it
the Valley.
I mean, you overlook the Valley from Bel Air.
Yeah. And the Valley sometimes looks over Bel Air. No?
I'm confused.
No, you
I don't think that's how it works.
Nick, I have a question for you.
Is it more geography?
No, it's about Tommy and MJ and Reza and that whole dynamic. What do you think as a husband and a man with a wife? How do you...
Okay. That is the definition of a husband. Yes.
Yeah. As a husband.
Not always.
As a
It's
husband.
a definition.
I could have a husband.
Okay, got it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. As a husband and a man with a wife, how do you feel about Tommy refusing to like go to things with MJ even though she wants him there because of
Yeah, Tommy's a
Reza?
bitch.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, Tommy's standing up for his own ego. He's not standing up for MJ. You know, at the end of the day, like, you know, listen, you can be frustrated. Like sometimes, you know, your person or whatever might invest in relationships that you don't think serves them. Fine. You know, but Tommy has made MJ's fight about his own fragile ego and his desire to, like, quote unquote, as he claims, stand up for MJ and then go and vandalize Reza's like property, like in such an aggressive way. I mean, listen, we had the pleasure of meeting Reza, and maybe I'm sure he's capable of a lot, but he doesn't seem like much of a fighter, you know, and he doesn't seem to be all that physically aggressive as a person. So for Tommy to come over and be like, he's lucky I just broke his plant and not his face. It's like, what do you, like, for who are you doing that for? I doubt very much MJ asked him to do that. And then again, like, he doesn't show up. Again, that's not for MJ. You're making your wife's life more difficult, right? He's putting her in difficult situations. Like, he can behind closed doors not love the fact that, like, MJ has decided to give people a second chance that he doesn't think they deserve. But like, these are MJ's relationships that she's trying to preserve. And like, at the end of the day, you just got to support your partner and make life easier for them. All Tommy's doing is making life more difficult for MJ while protecting his fragile ego. There you go.
Thank you. Well, it's also like MJ has known Reza since she was in high school. Like, they've been they're family at this point. They've been through so much. Reza, when he was on the show, was talking about how they really organically off camera just put their relationship back together. And, you know, I just started Shaw, so obviously there's a lot I don't know. But it's just like, Tommy, what the fuck? Like, you think
whose voice is that supposed to be?
Hey, it's
Who
called
was that?
it's called sorry, it's called Cadence, you guys.
I thought you were impersonating someone.
No, that was just all me. That was just how I felt emotionally about Tommy in that moment.
I did feel bad when MJ was like, all I just ask is if you can please talk to Reza, and then Tommy was like, I'm gonna go watch TV. I was like, really, like, not. No, like
he's a selfish partner. Yeah, and he is using MJ's drama and what's happened in the past as a way to scapegoat himself out of things he doesn't want to be a part of. And hey, listen, I wouldn't want to show up to a party of someone's house I decided to go and vandalize. I'm sure Tommy feels really awkward about his outburst. But instead of just like owning that,
that's on you.
Yeah.
Also, can we quickly talk about Amir and Natasha, how beautiful that was? Like, just their relationship in general, and like the medium saying, like, I'm hearing like your wife approving of this. And then like their daughter crying. I was like, oh my God.
You know, as much as I despise the last season of Kristen Doty's The Valley, as Leia described it one time, even though I love you, Kristen Doty, you're the best part of that show. As much as I have strong negative association with that show, this Valley feels like a warm hug just like you're hanging out with friends. And it really feels like what The Valley is supposed to be, which is kind of this young show where you're kind of figuring out your life, and now but you still have like relationships to figure out, but you're all in it together, but you're all fucking crazy still. But you're gonna do it in adult terms.
This does seem like awesome. More actual friends than like former cast members.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It seems like a genuine friend group. And again, you put Gigi, MJ, and Reza in front of a camera, I'm locked and loaded. I'm so happy.
I'm gonna go home and rewatch that.
Should
final
we
scene right
start
now.
a new spinoff of The Valley?
You've just been trying to get on The Valley in any way, shape, or form.
The Valley podcast style?
The Valley rent style? Paying rent?
The Valley Renters Edition. The Valley Renters Edition.
I would watch that.
Well, that will do it for today's episode. Thank you to our guests, Monét X Change and Daria Berenato. Be sure to check out our Going Deeper episode tomorrow with Seth Rollins and his wife, Becky Lynch from WWE fame. It's a very fascinating episode. You're certainly going to enjoy it, whether you watch wrestling or not. If you love a good conversation about a beautiful couple finding love at work and working together through adversity, you will love this episode. Other than that, we'll see you tomorrow. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.